What's
Okay.
up? What's up, people?
Hello.
Howdy, howdy. I
How is everyone?
I got so distracted this morning. I forgot to set up my stuff to get the show live on time, so I'm
No,
late.
you're fine. Don't worry about it.
I am late. I'd first like to say a big congratulations to my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law. They just had their beautiful little baby Oakley yesterday. I'm so
Congratulations.
excited. I'm an
Happy
auntie.
baby
I
day.
was I was laughing because the picture I posted, I didn't really say anything like whose baby it was. It just announced her. And
Yeah,
I
I
was
only
like
knew because of the name.
David,
I was like, oh,
how many people do you think that it's my baby? I'm like, no, no,
oh my
no.
God.
No, no. Nay, nay. No babies for this girl. I'm done.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny
No,
though.
thank you.
No, no,
I love
no.
babies. So, I was watching a show the other day and it was talking about, because I was watching a show about the brain
Yeah.
and it was talking about how when we're babies, how our brain works a certain way and the waves are different. And they showed a bunch of pictures of babies, and I was like, oh my God,
You're like,
I need a baby.
I know. I
But
get
I don't need a baby. I love them. They're so beautiful.
I get baby fever sometimes, but then I remind myself that my adult son is capable of having a child.
Oh my
So
God, stop. You say this all the time, and it cringes me out so bad thinking about our kids having kids. Ugh, God, no,
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 no, no,
no,
no, no,
not
no,
yet.
no.
Not yet.
No.
I'm not old enough to be a grandmother.
Dude, I am not old enough to be a grandmother, but I'm 130. Wait, what? It said could not process your request. You liar.
What do you mean?
Oh,
What do
maybe
you mean?
Facebook's been saying dumb stuff lately. It's like,
I know
I
Facebook drives me kind of crazy.
think I fixed it. I think I fixed
Well,
it.
what is chat up to? Hey, what's up, Jonah Vale?
Oh,
Good
hey,
morning.
hey, what's up? Oh,
Good
there's
morning, Dom. How are you?
all kinds of friends in here today.
I know. Hi, everyone. I hope you guys are having a really beautiful morning.
I
Did you
know.
guys drink your rainbows yet? I know I say that a lot. My daughter gets so mad at me.
I
She's like,
mean,
stop calling it that. Stop calling it that.
oh my gosh.
I'm
So
like, never.
when you say that to me, I envision this chick like this, just open mouth, and then there's a plate of food here and a lake of water, and it's just rainbows flowing into her mouth. I don't know. It sounds
That's
really
pretty
hippie.
much what happens every time you eat the right way.
It sounds very
You
hippie.
become that every time you do it. It's like a little piece of you changes.
Yes. So I'm not drinking a rainbow,
Hey,
but
what's up, Patter?
my drink is pink.
Yeah, that doesn't count. That's not the
No,
same.
it's not. It's not a rainbow at all. It's
I
super
have
bad.
my rainbow right here.
Good girl. I'm very
It's a
bad.
big one.
I'm very bad with
I
my
need to get one
caffeinated
of those
drinks.
really big jugs though, and just drink out of that all day because I'm sick of filling up cups.
I'm sorry, my inappropriate mind went to the gutter.
Big jugs.
It just
Yes.
happens. Hey,
It happens to
Chatter.
all
I
of us.
see you. What's up?
Yeah, good morning.
Hi, hi.
So
Hello,
we
Poppet. Hello.
oh fucking hello. Big old milkers. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh
Oh,
my God, I
man.
love
I'm
you.
sorry. I didn't mean to take this to the south. Woo.
Hey, you know what? If you can't laugh at life and just joke around and have fun, then what is the point, right? What's the
Seriously.
point?
Cereal. Serial
Cereal
killers.
here.
Serial killers.
But yeah, so Krystal wanted to kind of talk a little bit about jealousy today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure where you wanted to go with that, like what types of things maybe you were experiencing
Well, I think we
or
all kind of,
experiencing from other people.
I just think that we all kind of deal with it. And I've been trying to find a way to cope with my own inner jealousy and jealous thoughts. Um, I mean, I'm really grateful that I have somebody who doesn't really get too jealous. He gets a little jealous, but I grew
Like
up.
in your relationship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can have jealousy amongst friends, amongst coworkers too. So we could touch on those different things as well. But the ones that hit home are relationships with your significant other, and you know, David doesn't get super. He gets jealous. I mean, it's just not like my kind of like. I get crazy jealous, and it's not healthy at all.
No, it's not.
And I've gotten really better at it.
Yeah.
I've also had double standards, which is totally not okay. You know me, I'm very bubbly, friendly, whatever. Sometimes I get myself in hot water because of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I would like go crazy if David was the same way with people like I am. So like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I know that that's not fair.
Yeah.
But I know that like a lot of people deal with this, whether they're on the receiving end of a jealous person or they're the jealous person. I know that it can be a really big problem in a relationship. And I think that it would be good to talk about, because I think that there's some people who maybe are trying to find ways to overcome that jealousy. And I think for me, it boils down to the worry part. If you're constantly worrying and trying to control a situation, it's just going to get worse.
Well, it also depends, though, like, why you're feeling jealousy from the beginning. Because, you know, there are certain things that your partner can do that will make you feel like, what's going on? Why is this happening?
That's true. Your partner can give you reasons to feel insecure and jealous.
Right. Like, are your feelings of jealousy or insecurity validated, though, because of what your partner's acting on? Like, so, I mean, yeah, you have to think about that to begin with. But, I mean, as long as you're secure with yourself and you're confident that you have everything you need here, then you're going to be okay.
Then everything's going to be okay.
That's where I see it.
I think a lot of us, I got daddy issues. I know that. My dad and I had a really strange...
That's not your fault.
No, but
That's not your fault.
It's not, but it does affect how I've treated relationships over the years. And I was striving for this approval and attention, and I was willing to sacrifice things to get that attention and approval. And so I was in bad relationships. I used to think that if my significant other wasn't crazy jealous, that he didn't care about me. It actually took me a really long time to figure that out. Like, hey, that's not normal. Being with somebody who's very confident in themselves and secure in themselves where they don't get crazy jealous, it made me, for a while, made me feel like, oh, he must not really care. Like, he must not love me. Because he's not getting crazy.
He said, no, but it is on you to grow and evolve from your upbringing. And yes, that's true.
It is.
So every person, every individual has to take responsibility for their own soul and their own development on every level at some point.
Agreed.
But you have to understand that it takes certain people, depending on the way that they were raised and the severity of their situation, it might take them a little longer. And so being patient with yourself is very important, and being easy with yourself. You know, don't be hard on yourself about your growth process. As long as you're taking steps every day to try to be a better person from within yourself, then that's perfect, and you're doing a great job.
Yep.
So, you know, we don't have to like worry about living our life according to what other people think we should be doing, or where we should be, or, you know, what we should have accomplished from anyone else's perspectives except for our own.
Right.
That's the only thing that should matter.
Right.
To you.
Yep.
And to me.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And I tend to get caught up in
sorry,
something happened.
I got a PM and I hate that. I can't check it from my computer. I always forget. Sorry.
Like, oops.
Garrett.
I got a PM too. No, just kidding.
I'm like, oh my God. I have to like learn. Check it from my phone.
But I have a tendency to be worried and concerned with what other people are thinking and doing, and wanting them to like. I have the biggest issue with. Are you kidding me right now? I'm sorry. I got a freaking text from my daughter. This is how ridiculous she is. Mom, can you come turn off my fan? I'm really cold and don't want to get out of bed. Hard eye roll right now. Hard eye roll. Hard eye roll.
18 daughters, you guys. right there, preteen daughters. Okay.
I'm like,
so,
I'm on podcast. Sorry, I'm so distracted.
Yeah.
I'm like, squirrel.
I'm literally gonna whoop her butt. But yeah, no, my kids are the same way. They're like,
Mom,
do this
I
for
don't
me."
want to get out of bed.
No.
Come turn off my light, my fan.
Yeah.
Oh.
My son's pretty good though. He knows I'm not gonna be his servant. Like he knows that I'll show him how to do things, but that he has to take that action for himself. When he's hungry, he has to go make his own sandwiches. He has to go make his own food.
It's such a good thing to have your kids be self-sufficient.
Yeah,
like
because it takes so much weight off of your shoulders. Like you're their mother. It's not your responsibility to do everything for them.
No,
teach them how to do their laundry, teach them how to cook their own meals, and let them go. They have so much more confidence when you do that for them. Sorry, got sidetracked. Again.
No, you're good. I'm
it
always sidetracked. But okay, so back to jealousy. I'm a green-eyed monster. I totally know that. And I let it get to me. Like, I don't do it anymore. Like, I used to do some stupid things that I'm very ashamed of, and I feel bad doing this, but like I would like go on my man's phone and be like, who's he talking to?
And a lot of women are guilty of that. I'm also guilty of doing that in the past too. So
and like, you know,
okay.
I'm just kind of I don't know. Here's my phone, go through it, whatever. Like, I guess that like it's just I've been deceived, so, and I carry that deception with me, and that's something
because you're living in the past at that point.
Mm-hmm. You gotta let it go, and you can't put somebody else's stuff on the new person that you're with or whatever. You know, you're with somebody new. If they haven't given you a reason to distrust them, then you need to try all your might not to like do that to them.
You need to, at that point when you're doing those types of things, you need to think about how your past is affecting your present and your future.
Right.
Because if you're constantly living your life with those emotional, energetic ties to things that happen to you, then those things are going to infect your now moments, and they're going to infect any future timelines that you will project.
Right.
So that's something that I've actually been learning about a lot this week, and it's really beautiful to think about it because like it's our emotional response to our past. We have to change our minds about the way we see what happened to us, and we have to change our minds and the way that we emotionally respond to it.
Yep.
And then it can change your future.
100%.
It's really cool. It's like super deep, and I love it. But yeah.
And sometimes we gotta like, it's hard to face hard things. But I find it like, I love talk therapy. I used to see a therapist. Well, not personally see a therapist recently, but I used to see a therapist for my oldest. And I enjoyed being able to talk about things that I probably wouldn't talk about with most people, but like work through them and try to understand why I'm holding on to this. Like you said, like what is it about that time, and how can you look at it differently so that you can move on from it and grow from it and be better and teach others how to be better about that too. And
because you know, not everybody knows that when they're doing those things, they're living in the past.
Right.
They're not even recognizing that that's what that is.
Right.
So it's like, heal yourself from those past traumas or those past events. Heal yourself the way that you are willing to respond, and then you can change your whole future. Every future timeline is therefore a new creation for you to project into something beautiful for yourself.
And don't you feel like, and I've been on the receiving end of jealousy. Don't you feel like when someone's constantly accusing you of something, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you don't realize it when you're doing it, how it's making the other person feel who hasn't done anything wrong. But when someone's accusing you of something that you didn't do, which, you know, like I said, David doesn't get jealous very often. So, like, I don't deal with that too much from him. But in past relationships, I had a person just be bonkers, like crazy jealous, accusing me constantly of stuff. When in fact, And this is kind of interesting because he was cheating on me.
Of course. That's a typical red flag that something's going on.
But like, so then that makes me, I'm like, well, but I get crazy jealous, and I'm not cheating, but I get crazy jealous.
Because of the way your partner's acting?
I don't know.
Things that they're doing?
Sometimes it's just in my head. Sometimes I'm just crazy. But like, sometimes like you get these thoughts and worries and concerns, and you start self-doubting. It's all within. When it comes to jealousy, it's maybe the person's doing something wrong, but most of the time it's something within yourself that you got to work out. I was gonna share. I reached out to a friend of mine that's a marriage and family counselor, or therapist. Sorry, and I asked him like how to. Let me read exactly what I wrote him. Remember, because I do personally feel like jealous behavior is an insecurity. In most, not in all sense. Some senses, you are right. You get that womanly, well, not womanly, but like we get that intuition. Something's up.
That's the problem. Like Jonavale said, when I get accused of things that I didn't do, it makes me feel like they're deflecting and doing it themselves, which gives me insecurity in them. And that's true.
100%.
But at the same time, it's like for me in past relationships, I've never cheated on anybody ever, but I have been cheated on so many times that was something that my experience told me, that all men are going to cheat on you because they're slaves to their sexual desires and they can't help themselves. And that was kind of like my programming and my experience. And so in every relationship, I was always fearful that something was going to happen and that I was going to end up getting hurt again. And, so I projected my insecurities based on my past experiences onto my new relationship. And I wasn't taking my new relationship for what it really was, which was a new experience, a new person, and a fresh slate. And it's like this illustration that someone shared the other day. He's actually a really good teacher. I love listening to his videos. But so he shared this illustration of like, when you put your hand in the river, you're never touching the same water, more than once.
Right.
It's always flowing. So when you're having a new experience with someone new, that's you touching new water, but you're not recognizing it if you're thinking about, I'm just touching the river. Right?
Right.
You're not touching the same water in the river. It's a new experience, a new flow. It gives you a new opportunity to grow and to express. So that's what I've learned over the past year. And I really love sharing like illustrations like that with people because it helps me see things in a different way.
Yeah.
And so now, moving forward, we can have better experience and learn and grow from our relationships.
Right.
But
if you can change, you got to change your perspective and really look within yourself as to why you're thinking and feeling the way you're feeling.
Right. Because you're holding on to memories of the past.
Yes. So I asked, his name is Daniel Verdugo. He is a registered associate marriage and family therapist. He's also a professor of marriage and family program at the Hope International University, and he's in Placentia, which is near my family. So I didn't even realize that. But I asked him this. I said, what are ways to cope with jealous thoughts? Or what do you think why people tend to be jealous? And he said this, which is pretty much what we're saying. Wherever it is. Where are you? Where is it? Hopefully this is... Nope, that's not the right one. I'm retarded. Excuse me. That was totally inappropriate too. Sorry, PC people. I'm sorry. That was totally wrong. I should not have said that. was very wrong.
The intentions were not bad, so
That's
we
not
get
what I
you.
meant. Yes. No, I have a tendency to put my
We have
foot
to
in my
be open
mouth.
to understanding one another, you know?
I have a tendency to put my foot in my mouth, but yes. That's a whole
It's all
nother
good.
conversation. Okay, this is what he
Right.
said.
So I think a couple ways when it comes to coping with jealous thoughts is either if we're talking about a relationship, a romantic relationship situation, hopefully if you're able to feel safe enough to tell your partner why you're getting jealous, where this is coming from, some type of good dialogue to be able to be heard and hopefully be understood why this is occurring, where this comes from, what does your partner do that sparks that jealousy in you? Because if nothing's discussed or nothing's kind of resolved in some way, it's gonna keep reoccurring throughout your relationship, and it's gonna be something that just is constantly a big ugly scab in a relationship, if we're talking that. Otherwise, if we're just within ourselves, we got to be able to do some self-inventory and understand where this comes from. Why does this come out of me in these situations, and how can I change it and take ownership of certain things that I don't need to show this jealous ugly side at times.
Yes.
I think you made a great point too, especially when talking about why jealousy occurs. A lot of it is insecurity. A lot of it is unresolved emotional trauma that's just kind of been festering within us. Maybe from childhood or early on in adulthood, and we've never really confronted the issue. So we kind of put it in the back burner and just went about life. And now, as we get older, we start to experience more relationships or various life situations. We see those sides come out of us. And if you don't confront it and you're not honest with yourself and you don't do it in a healthy, constructive way to try to repair it and heal it, at least if it's just within yourself, you're gonna carry it. You're gonna have that little cloud within you. And honestly, I don't believe anyone deserves to have that. Everyone should deserve to be honest and open and be not bound by just the ugly factors that can come with jealousy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I love that he said that, like that we all deserve.
Yeah.
We all deserve to be honest and open. Think
Yeah.
about how I was thinking, like when you are being dishonest, how you feel, like that cloud that he described, that feeling, or just that feeling of just somebody, you're like carrying this like worry. There's the deception and then there's the worry. Either one, they're both a black cloud. They both make you feel like crap. And that's just not a way that you should want to live your life. And the more we try to control a situation, and this can be in any situation. I mean, even as a parent, controlling your kids. If you try to control someone or something, it's likely gonna not, the opposite's gonna happen usually. Being crazy jealous and being like, who are you talking to? I've heard time and time again people who are constantly accusing their significant other of something. Not that they should do it, it's not an excuse, but they end up doing what they're being accused of, which is totally ridiculous. Like, you should. But I mean, trying to control a situation or worry, are they cheating on me? If you're that worried, then why are you with that person? If you're constantly worried, you shouldn't be with
We all have to learn how to respect and love ourselves enough to know when a relationship is not good for us.
Right.
And to know when to get out of it. Because if you don't respect yourself, you're going to just have an inner war with yourself throughout the entire experience.
Yeah.
So respecting yourself and knowing when to get out of a situation is very good and important for you as a person on a journey of soul development, because that's what we're here for. We're developing our souls and we're learning about ourselves, and we're growing into these, well, we are, but we're also growing into these multidimensional spectral beings.
Yep.
And life is so much bigger than just being jealous in a relationship.
Exactly. So it is. And like all that feeling that you carry with you when you're jealous like that, it's not productive. It doesn't do you or anyone else any good. And I feel like, okay, if you're in a relationship and you have those feelings, if you're not able to talk about it with your significant other, then that's like a big flag. Like I that's something I want to talk about on a future episode, is like recognizing red flags in any relationship, because they're there. You can see them right away. But like, yeah, you should be able to communicate with your partner. And if you cannot, then you need to reevaluate what's going on. Like, if you don't feel like you can talk to your person,
they're not your person.
They're not your person. Your person. People used to say this all the time growing up. Like, you want your person to be your best friend, or you don't want a person. You don't want to be in a relationship, because if you're in a relationship with somebody that doesn't make you feel like supported or loved or, you know, trust or whatever, if you don't have that in a relationship, then what's the point of having one? This goes
for friendships too. This isn't just romantic relationships. Like, jealousy and insecurities and things like that, they spread into all of our connections with every soulmate of ours. And so, like, we really need to get beyond all of that, because we don't want to have toxic, negative experiences. We want to grow into new, beautiful, open heart connections with each one of us.
Yes.
And we can do it. We just have to heal ourselves to our emotional responses to the past.
Yeah. And like, you don't have to be like, I was thinking about this a lot, because I have distanced myself from a lot of things.
I have too.
Yeah. And not, you know, I didn't do it in like any kind of like messed up way. Like, I was like, F you, I don't want to talk to you no more. No, I just purposely distanced myself.
Is that really messed up? I don't think it is.
Well, okay.
You know, you can tell someone to fuck off and still be a loving person. And you have to show love to yourself.
I don't see how I could say F you and be loving, though.
Yeah, it is, because that person might not hear you any other way. And
you're right.
It's not a bad word.
Right about that.
It's just a word. And people, you know, you're the one that gives that word power anyways. So, I mean, words are words.
I think there's people out there that are good-hearted people, but they're still toxic. And so, like, even though they mean well, they're still bringing you down. And it's
Do they mean well, though? Because I feel like if someone's bringing you down, they have selfish intentions.
Well, it's usually because they're deflecting, you know?
Well,
of their own
stuff. I don't know, man. I think, like, if people have selfish intentions, they don't mean well for you. They mean well for them.
Okay,
they're going to drain you. They're going to suck you dry.
I have a hard time
you when they have had enough of you. And honestly, the takers have no limits. That's another lesson for another conversation. But
I like that topic.
Who just
I want to talk about.
Take.
Because, okay, I have a hard time, and I'm not perfect at all. Like, I'm not perfect by any means. But I don't know that, like, when it comes to being deceitful and shady and like trying to like I don't know how to put it into words, but we talk about this because like I'm trying to like help promote our show and like make good connections. And all of my connections are genuine. I genuinely love all the people that I've connected with because of this show. But some people do it in a deceptive way when they're trying to promote themselves, right? Like, some people are deceiving, and I'm trying not to be deceiving. I'm trying to be upfront. Like, you know, please follow my show because I'm trying to do good things. I'm trying to spread good conversation and hopefully maybe help somebody. I know this helps me. So is that selfish of me because I want to help promote the show? I don't think so. But there are people who are just inherently trying to deceive and use, and I guess I don't recognize that very easily. I know you can point it out right away. You can say, oh, that person, no, don't talk to that person, or no, don't do that. David can too, and I'm like, okay, my radar is off.
No, it's not. It's just easier for the people who are closest to you, who love you, to see what things are from a different perspective that you might not be seeing, because when you're so close up to something, it's hard to see clearly. It gets blurry sometimes. And so you have to learn who you can trust that's close to you and listen to what they're telling you, because they're seeing it from another angle and they can see through all the bullshit. So things like that,
But like,
just listen to me. I got your back.
I know. I guess I just don't understand people who do things with a bad intention. I don't know.
I feel like I don't like using the words good and bad anymore, because
I agree with you, because
it's so elementary, and it doesn't really even encompass what life is about. I feel like
maybe it's like selfish
intentions,
intentions. That's a better
right?
word.
Selfish intentions, and they might not even realize it or recognize it or be conscious of it. But
True.
if they have selfish intentions, then you can train yourself to see that. You can start to train yourself to take a step back. Instead of getting sucked into it, take a step back from the situation and try to recognize what it is that they're trying to do.
Sometimes it really hurts when you realize that someone's doing something selfishly to you.
Right.
It really
because
hurts.
you have a good heart and you don't
But I believe
have that intention.
I believe that everybody has the ability to have that love and goodness within them. And I want to see that in everybody. I try to see that in everybody. So I think that's why I get duped a lot. In fact, David was brave. I know, I'm so gullible.
You're so funny.
I'm so gullible.
I get duped a lot.
I get duped a lot. I do. I get duped so hard. It's so bad. So, all right. Do I just let the cat out of the bag? Come on, scammers. Come get me. No, just kidding.
No.
No, I've gotten so much better at the robot
right now.
Sometimes I'll get like a thing, and it's like, it's a scam thing, and I'm like, oh, and I get all like, wait a second, it's a scam. But like at first I fall for it.
To be fair, the scammers are getting really good at their job.
They really are.
I have to ask Garrett for help a lot, because I get reached out to for this
all
and that
the
and the
time.
All the time, and I'm like, wait, I have to ask my friend who I trust what he thinks about this, because he's smart and he has my back, and I know that I can go to him and be like, is this legit or what?
Is this
what should
fake?
I do? How should I go about this?
I feel like
he tells me, use your brain. What does your brain tell you? Google it.
Fake.
See what they're saying. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I already knew that, but thank you for reminding me, because I'm like, woo.
These scammers are so good. They play on your heartstrings. Like I just put
so funny.
my song that I made on SoundCloud, which I probably shouldn't have done because it's totally not ready, and I'm gonna work on it again. But I put it on there, and I started getting like messages and stuff, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And I got all excited because this guy's like, we really like your sound, you should come talk to us. And then I was like, wait a second. So then I clicked on the guy's profile, and he says that to everyone, and I was like,
yeah.
But I'm like,
you're just new. It's okay.
I know. And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, no. This sound needs work. So we know you're full of crap, bro. But they play on your heartstrings, and I'm so guilty of like believing people have good intentions and trusting that they do, and it's just,
I know, but
it's just frustrating.
Take the naivety out of it.
That's such a good word. I'm so naive.
Right. And it's okay, because you're still growing and you're still experiencing and stuff like that. So like, you can still be loving and try to see the good in people without being naive. It's a really fine dance. Like, it's like a fine line to walk on, but you can do it. And that's something that I've been practicing too, is trying to be less naive, but without being cynical or judgmental about people.
I feel that way too. Like I feel like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's really easy to turn and be a cold, angry person if you let it. Right. Because when you start revealing the truth of the world and what's going down in it, yeah, it can make you kind of pissed and make you hate things and get angry. But you got to just see there's a lot of good too, and not just focus on the bad intentions.
I always say to people, just focus on you. Don't worry about what's going on in Africa. Don't worry about what's going on in the rest of the country. Like, I know that sounds selfish, but hear me out. Because when you focus on you and you're building yourself up and you're healing yourself, you're actually affecting the quantum field, because we are all interconnected. Everything is connected. The whole earth, us, we're connected to each other. We're connected to the animals, the plants, everything. We're not separate from anything. So that veil of illusion is gone. We need to see past it now. We're all one.
Yep.
So every experience that you have affects the quantum field. So heal yourself and it heals the quantum field. It creates a new pathway for a new experience for more people to go travel through that pathway too. So we need to think about things like that. Think about yourself as a drop of water in a lake, and you're causing this like vibration. You're causing a ripple effect everywhere you are.
Yep.
So when you heal yourself, you're healing the world. You're doing your part to heal the world. So when you focus on yourself and you heal yourself and you become this ball of light that just, affects everything that you touch, you don't know how that's going to affect the people that are around you and touched by you, but it will.
It does.
And so therefore, every person you interact with on a healed level, from a heart love perspective, an unconditional brotherly love, that heals them in a certain way. And then it sends them on a journey for their own healing. And so that's why I always say, heal yourself first. It will totally change the whole world. And
it does.
I know I harp on it a lot, but it's because I'm super passionate.
No, but I think it's so important to realize that perspective, because I feel like I never had thought about that before. Like in the way that you're explaining it, I never thought about it like that. I always thought of just how can I help this person? How can I help that person? At the end of the day, you have to help yourself and
help yourself.
If you, it's kind of like
it's not selfish.
It's like in the airplane, you got to put your mask on first. Give yourself the oxygen before you give the person next to you oxygen, because if you pass out, then you can't help anybody. So you got to help yourself before you can help everybody else. I know that's a silly analogy, but
fill your cup and overflow. Be the fountain. I loved that thing I saw the other day, is be the fountain, not the drain.
I love that. I saw that too.
Because,
I love that.
When you're overflowing with it, you can
drain.
give the extra. Whatever overflows from you can be for other people, but you have to be full of it first and overflowing with it first. So it's so important for that healing process to be done in yourself.
Agreed. Yep.
Don't worry or be concerned so much. And I have to do this too, because I'm like, oh my God, I need to save the world. But then I have to remember, it starts with me.
It starts with you and your circle.
Yeah.
If you focus on you and you focus on your little circle, start there. Those are the most.
Chatter said, trust people, but not to your own detriment. True. Build up
very
good,
true.
Healthy boundaries for yourself, because there is certain people who might be of a mindset that they want to just use you, right? So setting healthy boundaries for yourself of what you're willing to accept and not accept and all that, it's like a filter. And you can kind of take a step back and be like, yeah, I love you because you're my brother or sister. And then let people tell you who they are, because people reveal themselves to you if you pay attention to what they're saying. They reveal themselves exactly what they are, what their intentions are, what they're looking for, So if you're paying attention, you'll see right through it.
You'll see right.
It's just a matter of practicing paying attention, but you have to have that healthy boundary filter up. I love you and I want to help you any way that I can, but not to my drainage. I'm not going to let anybody drain me.
No.
And that's where I'm at right now. I'm building myself up. That's why I haven't really been around too many people, because I've kind of been in a cocoon, taking my time with learning all of this stuff from scratch.
Yep.
But also been watching a lot of really cool stuff lately that I feel would be really helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, share.
Because it
You
helps
said
me.
you were watching something yesterday. Why don't you tell
Okay,
us what it was?
so I don't know if any of you have heard of this guy. You probably have, probably haven't, whatever. His name is Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he has a lot of information. He's got like a series on Gaia. I don't know if you've heard of it, but
I've looked it up when you told me what it was. I was like, what's that?
I've heard of Gaia for like the past few years, and I was like, oh man, that looks pretty cool. Like, I'd like to get it eventually, but I wasn't there yet. And so finally, like last night, I was like, Mom, we should totally get this program. Like, I've been looking into it and it looks pretty interesting. Let's check it out. And so she did. And we watched a few episodes of the programs on there. But Dr. Joe Dispenza, he studies the brain, and he's got a lot of information for people that I feel would help change your life. And I say that because I've already had experiences with certain things that he was talking about, just my own personal like revelations and things. And so I understood him on a higher level than I would have before. So it was pretty cool to watch it last night. But yeah, so watch Joe Dispenza. He is really intelligent. He's really smart, but he also explains things in such a way that makes it easier for people to understand.
Yeah.
He's got a really good way of communicating things to people.
Cool.
So, yeah, definitely check it out. I think his stuff might actually be on YouTube too. If you guys don't want to pay for Gaia, yeah, let me look that up and make sure.
We'll be posting links to all these different things.
I'll share Daniel's page with you if you want to follow him. He posts really good things. Another page I really love, we follow Rhythmia, right? Rhythmia. I love
Rhythmia.
them. Rhythmia always posts really awesome stuff. It's more on the spiritual side of posts.
It's on the psychedelic.
Yeah.
Psychedelic meditation, because they do ayahuasca ceremonies. They have locations in Costa Rica and now in the places in America that are not legalized, but decriminalized, I guess. Yeah. But they do ayahuasca ceremonies, and they actually do help people get to a place in their conscious where they're healing themselves on a mental level.
Right.
Because that's what psychedelics do for us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know that's a kind of a weird subject for some people, but I'm a total advocate for it from personal experience. So, you know,
and even
depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, things like that have no more room in our minds and our bodies. So we need to take our health into our own hands and do the research and figure out what will work for us.
Yeah. And even though I don't partake in any of that, I still, like, I've been following these people. I mean, Jess and I share an Instagram account, so yeah. I see all the things that she's followed on our page and vice versa. And a lot of the things that they post are so uplifting, and they're so perspective thinking, and like I really enjoy their posts, even though like I'm not like going to the I'm not using
that's why I love her though too,
like
because we bring different perspectives to this show.
Yep.
And to each other, and we are open to one another because we trust each other and we love each other.
Yep.
And so that's why it's good though, because she has a different perspective, I have a different perspective, and we can meet in the middle and kind of create this thing.
Yeah, and we can support each other, you know, even though we may not partake in each other's viewpoints or even practices, we still
support like each I'm other. Not religious and she is.
Yeah, and we still support each other and love each other, and you can do that with anybody. And it's okay, and it's good to have conversations and disagreements with people because you grow and learn from each other. I mean, we don't really have disagreements ever. We just like, I mean, maybe a little bit, but like,
if we have a disagreement, it's not the same as an argument. We never argue.
We're just like,
we might disagree, but we're like, hey, I don't really like that. We're pretty open about it, and it's okay. That's honestly the important thing to have in a relationship of any kind, is feeling like you're safe enough to express yourself freely and to be heard, like what that guy said. What was his name? Dr. Daniel
Verdugo.
Verdugo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool things to check out, and
there was
Dr. Joe Dispenza was amazing too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna follow him.
I put his link in the chat.
Oh good. There's another Instagram account that I really love, and they're blowing up and growing and doing really well. But I love every time they post it. I'm like, oh yeah, like I love everything they post. I try not to share everything they post every day because I literally could because I love everything they post. But it's called daily.positivequotes. It's on Instagram. They're like, their stuff's just really good, and it gets you to think, you know, like today they posted, the only person that deserves a special place in your life is someone that never made you feel like you were an option in theirs. I like that. You know, every day they post something cool like that. And it's just like, be good to yourself, heal yourself, take care of yourself, cut out the toxic stuff. And you don't have to do it in a crappy way. You can do it in a really chill way. Like, yo, I'm going to be over here, and setting those boundaries and announcing, like I started announcing things like, hey, I'm going to go on a sabbatical. You're not going to hear from me for a while. And by doing that, I like released myself from having to worry about like people being mad at me for cutting away. That helped me. That was a me thing. Yeah. That's something I did for me.
You're so cute. You're so cute.
No, but I like I don't want to worry about people being mad at me. So like it helped me because I set the boundary.
I know, but okay, the next step in that, like not worrying about what people care, or like not caring about like people being mad at you, is you need to be okay with you and then not allow your thoughts to think about, well, what if this person thinks this? What if this person thinks this about me?
I've gotten better at it.
No, just what do you think about you?
What do you think about you? Exactly.
Right? Because if you care about what you're doing and if you like what you're doing, that's all that fucking matters.
Exactly. No, you're right. So like I posted something the other day, if I can find it, and it was just, and maybe some people are like, what's that all about? I said, just because someone doesn't see your potential doesn't mean you don't have all of the colors. Not everyone can see your rainbow. Don't get discouraged. Keep shining, keeping you. For a while, I had this complex of that I couldn't do something, and it's still kind of looming, but I'm learning that like I have the passion and the love, and I like what I'm doing, so I'm going to keep doing it no matter what. If nobody likes it, and this is stupid. What do I need approval from other people? Like yesterday.
Do you like it?
Exactly. Do you like it? Yesterday I was like,
you're somebody.
Yeah.
And if you like it,
then that's all that
other
matters.
People are gonna like it.
True.
Right? So don't worry about it. Just enjoy.
I was saying to David, I was like, man, I thought more people were gonna like think my Mandalorian was cool. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. A lot of my friends are nerds, and only a couple of them are like, I like it. But like for me, yeah, why did I care so much that nobody liked it? I mean, people like it. I love it. I love it.
I think it's great. You did a great job. She drew that Mandalorian, you guys. She's freaking amazing.
He's a little chunky up top, but it's okay.
It looks awesome.
I love him. He looks.
Stop judging it. It looks beautiful. It's art.
This is the way. Yes, I love it.
Right.
I love it.
I love it.
And you know, I mean, actually,
if you
everything
love
in
what
here.
you're doing, if you love what you're doing, then someone loves what you're doing. Right? So, because you're someone. Stop thinking about yourself like you're nobody. You're everybody. You're everybody.
We are everybody. And if you like it, chances are other people are going to like it too. And you're going to
go for it.
Yeah, you just keep
Don't
doing
worry about jealousy. Don't worry about anything. Just enjoy your life. Do what you love and let it flow. Like, I have to do it too. I have to tell myself these things every day.
We get self-doubt and we get insecure, and we start second guessing ourselves, and we start feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm not worthy. Yes, you are.
But you have to tell yourself in the mirror every day the I am affirmations, because when you tell yourself, I am worthy of love. I did this yesterday. I posted it on Facebook.
I love that.
I am worthy of love. I'm worthy of abundance. I am the universe. There is no lack in me. Because when you tell yourself these things, you're programming your brain to think in a different way.
Right.
So it's really important to do that in the mirror every day, or even during a meditation. Like if you're going to do a meditation, do the positive I am affirmations before you start your meditation, and allow your meditation to kind of take you on whatever positive I am journey that you're going to experience. Because man, it's totally a life changer. Like it's changed my whole perspective of myself and helping me see things differently, helping me see my role in the world differently. And that is, I can't even tell you, like it's such a beautiful, freeing thing.
I mean, like not always hear like everything you're saying. You and I have figured that out. You and I we've heard people say it our whole life, right? We've heard people say you need to tell yourself good things. No? Well, I just remember growing up and hearing these things. I mean, I guess I've actually been in therapy since I was a kid, you know? So like I heard those
I have never been to therapy.
Okay, so I heard those therapy terms all the time, and they really didn't stick with me. Like I heard them and I was like, yeah. I hear you, but you're not really hearing them. And some people may be listening right now and they're not hearing us right now, but they will eventually remember some of these things and remember that like they have.
It's all a frequency thing too.
Yeah.
Like it's just about if your voice rings true to their ears and resonates with their being, their experience. So I'm not worried about anything. I hope that, well, I have faith that everyone will hear me and eventually understand what I'm saying. So that's how we have to live our life. We have to have faith that no matter what we're doing, the right people are going to hear you.
Right.
And they're going to take it the right way. And not everybody will take you the right way, but you don't have to worry about that because it's going to send them on a journey. They're going to think about what you said and they're going to explore if they're brave enough.
Yep. Exactly. If they're brave enough.
No. If you're brave enough, explore.
Exploring your feelings can be a really tough journey, and just take it one step at a time, little bits here and there. You know, if you get jealous like me and you go through your significant stuff and you get all crazy and whatever, maybe you should start there, because that's something I've worked on the last couple of years. Just like not, you know, you gotta look in and see why you're feeling that way. And at the end of the day, for me, it's because I'm insecure. I don't feel good about myself. I feel like, you know, because I was cheated on, and I carry that like someone cheating on me from the past. I carry that like they're all gonna do that to me. They're all scummy. They're all up to no good.
Because you're not living in your now moment. You gotta live in your now moment.
Live now. And
what does this moment feel like right now?
And
don't think about anything else.
Plus, like, if you like feel like, you know, you got to take confidence back, and that's something that I'm trying to do lately, is be more confident, even though like I may still feel like a little chubby and whatever. I know that my person loves me.
As soon as you start living in your now moment and appreciating what you have now and how it feels now, instead of thinking about things from the past, cut those emotional ties to your past traumas. Allow yourself to live in this now moment and experience it for what it is, and the body will catch up to that positive thinking.
Yep.
The body will catch up automatically, and we don't have to worry about diets or anything like that, because that doesn't really do anything for you. No. But if you change your emotional responses to traumas in the past and stop living in the past and start living in your now, you're going to build a better future for yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically.
Yep.
Everything will all start to tune itself to whatever vibration that you're experiencing in this now moment. That's why we say it's always now, you guys, because it is.
It is.
The past, the present, and the future all simultaneously exist in this now moment.
Yep.
But you get to choose which branch of reality you're going to experience next. And it's all determined on how you relate yourself in this now moment,
Mm-hmm.
how you respond emotionally in this now moment,
And
and what you're going to express.
if you find confidence, like when you find that confidence within yourself, even if it's for a slight moment, I recognize the difference it makes when I feel confident and I say, no, I'm good enough. I'm this, I'm that. When you have that rush over you, of course it affects you, but it also affects these other people around you. And I see how it changes outcomes. I've personally watched it happen, change the outcome of a situation, and how much better it is personally in my own relationship. I've been more confident and less like, oh, I'm fat. Don't look at me. I've been trying to change that. And I've seen the difference in the way I interact with David. I see it. And that's just such a small like thing that I've been noticing it change. I'm like, imagine if I did this across the spectrum with everything. It would, you know, you're going to feel so much better about you, and it's going to affect others around you, and you're going to help those other people feel good too. It's just how
you feel about yourself shows.
It does.
On the outside. How you feel about yourself on the inside, it shows in an outward way. And so when you change your perspective of yourself and you see yourself from, like, think about if there was a God outside of you and God was looking at you, right? Think about how God would see you.
That's like where the whole "what would Jesus do" thing kind of comes from, right?
Well,
I mean, like people.
No, I'm thinking about like try to see yourself from an outside perspective, right? So like if you look at your own behaviors and your habits and the things that you do to yourself, the things that you say to yourself, if you look at all of that from an outsider's perspective, like how I would look at you. Look at yourself like your own best friend. Look at your body like your own best friend. And talk to yourself the same way that you would talk to your best friend that you love more than anything in the world.
Right.
And if you do those things for yourself, then you're going to have a better now moment and a better future outcome.
Agree.
There's
I
so
100%
many
agree.
There's so many branches that we could experience if we just took this now moment and went inward and reflected and thought about our highest self. What does that person look like? What do they act like? How do they speak? How do they dress? What do they do? Think about what your highest self is. And then take small steps each day to be more like that person. You're going to build a whole different life for yourself.
Definitely.
A whole different life for yourself.
Definitely agree. I can attest to that over just the course of this last year. Just everything that we've been working towards and changing and trying to do. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely been bumps along the way. And I've made mistakes and stuff. But like focusing on that and trying to just be better and feel better. And I think
there's no such thing as mistakes.
No,
there's no
it's
such
just
thing
a
as
learning.
mistakes.
It's just something,
You're on a journey.
Learning experience.
Everyone's on a journey, and we all have to be easy with ourselves, because even though we might know what's better for us, we're going to still bounce between levels of vibration and levels of consciousness. We're going to be like, you know, oh, I'm so low today. I'm having a really bad day, blah, 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 blah. But then you have to turn it around for yourself and choose to tune yourself into the higher vibrational frequency. Because when you do that, you're touching it, and then you're touching it, and then you're touching it. And then eventually you're going to stick right there.
Yep.
And then you're like, oh, I feel so much better now. And then you can go from there. And then you can touch a higher frequency and a higher frequency. And this is how we ascend through levels of consciousness, levels of vibration.
I like to say we're playing a video game and we're beating each level. We're going to the next level. The princess is in another castle. You're almost there.
But you don't have to fight. You just have to allow yourself to be and flow.
True. You don't have to fight. Sorry. I like to relate things that don't make any sense, so that's just where I'm at.
It is like a video game in that way, though. Like, you know, we go through these levels of we're unfolding ourselves. Like I always say, we're like a flower, and we're in our blossoming state right now.
Yep.
And we're just unfolding each petal, and we're layered like that. And so with every petal that unfolds, we're finding out more about ourselves. And every experience in our life is a petal.
It is.
That we're unfolding. and
the-
we're like, oh, what's this?
And the people we
What's
connect with are like, are they like water? Are they like our water? Are they like a bee, like pollinating? No, that would be taking. See, metaphors. I'm not very good at this.
Well, think about yourself like a tree. You're just a tree in the world.
Just a tree. I got
You're
roots,
just a little
baby. Got
and
roots.
everybody is a plant, and we all work together symbiotically in this beautiful planet that we're on.
Yep.
And
I got a plant.
we're all unfolding ourselves. We're all learning about ourselves, and every experience that we have is for expressions of greater love.
Yeah.
For self and for other. There is no other. We're all one.
We're all
one
one
being, one energy.
All for one, one for all. That's what I like to say. I like to say
And
that.
I like to think about it from a scientific level and from a spiritual, mystical level, because it is both.
I
We are
agree.
all.
Yep.
So if you resonate more with the science aspects of things, I think you guys would really like Dr. Joe Dispenza, because he is a brain scientist.
Cool.
He does research on brains all the time, and he can explain things on brain waves and how we receive things and what our bodies are. Not a lot of people know what their body even is, and
Or how magical it works, like how it really works.
It's magic.
It's really magical when you really
Everything
study
is.
the body. Everything is.
Everything
This
is
earth,
magic.
the earth and the
Mhm.
axis and all that science is so cool.
It's just all magic.
I love science a lot.
Yeah.
I think science is freaking cool. Sometimes controversial. But I'm also a spiritual person, and I'm, kind of like that mystical part of that too. Some people think
Right.
it's magic. Speaking of magic,
Oh, you want to talk about that tomorrow?
we are going to talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm a huge nerd for magicians, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess it's because they put on this illusion, and it's fake. It's an illusion, but you want to believe that it's real and it's magical. And so I have kind of an obsession with magic and magicians. And Jessica posted the other day that she watched a show and it messed her up. And I was like, wait a second, something messed Jessica up. I gotta watch. I want to know what it is so we can talk about it. So I started watching the show she's been watching called The Magicians. And
Yeah, which Jonah Vale told me years ago to watch it, and for some reason I stopped watching it. And then I started it up recently.
I realized, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but man, it got a killer. Yeah. It has a killer soundtrack. Like, I love their sound, but it's kind of old. It's a little old, right? That show's a little old. And people
it's like a few years old, I think.
People are still smoking cigarettes in the show. That's how I know a show is dated, is that everybody's smoking cigarettes. Like Sons of Anarchy, they're all smoking cigarettes. I'm like, wait a second. And maybe they still would be. People don't smoke anymore. Well, okay. So wait, take that back. Here in Hawaii, everybody's like 10 years behind. Sorry, Hawaiians. I love you, Hawaii people. But no, people are a little behind here. So like, there's not a lot of vapors. I haven't seen a lot of vapors. There's vape here, but like, I feel like I see more people smoking actual cigarettes, which is pretty, like, it's becoming a rarity. There's not as many people who smoke cigarettes anymore. It's just interesting. So when I see it on TV, it's like foreign. I'm like, wait, they're smoking a cigarette. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's how you know a show is dated, if they're smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
I know. I'm retarded. There I go again with that word.
It's fine.
No, it's not fine. I shouldn't say that word. It's not nice. It's very not nice. It's not a nice word. That's a not nice word for myself.
Intention's everything, and people need to get over their
being offended. Everybody's offended these days, and that's a whole nother topic. I mean, like, just love everybody. I love you all. I'm sorry if I offended anybody today. I didn't mean to.
I'm not sorry.
See, Jessica, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry. I'm never sorry, because if you get offended, it's because you're triggered by something, and then that trigger shows you where you need to heal. So, in essence, you should be thanking me for triggering you. I'm just kidding.
No, it's true, though. I'm so thankful for people who upset me, because it really causes me to reflect on myself.
Yeah.
And it really causes me to think about things. And
I'm thankful for everything. I love everybody. And I feel like our intentions are the same. We have unconditional love for everyone that we meet, and we have nothing but goodwill toward other people. And We hope that you guys will take us that way, but if you don't, I hope you heal.
Honestly,
So-
honestly, it doesn't matter what you do. If you
There's always gonna be a hater.
there's some people that I just think are the most sweetest, genuine people in the whole universe, and yet they get people hating on them all the time, and and I'm like, why? But I get it. Those people are either they're dealing with something and they find this person threatening, or they're angry. I don't know.
Or they're jealous and they're experiencing jealousy. Something that they need to work on.
Yes.
Which is what we talked about earlier. So I think it is time for us to sign off, though, you guys.
It is. So be sure to tune in with us tomorrow. We're going to be talking about magic and magicians and
shows that we like.
And that's what we do on Thursday on Twitch, only on Twitch. So Thursdays, come see us. We like to have fun. We might tell a couple jokes. Who knows? It's just a good time. And next week, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. Maybe we're going to talk about recognizing green flags, because I think those are important. Or recognizing red flags. Those are really important.
Red flags versus green flags.
Yeah, red flags versus green flags in relationships. I think those are really good when it comes to business connections, friendships, lovers,
Pay attention to how things make you feel in this now moment.
Yep.
How do you feel in this now
Whatever
moment?
you're ingesting. Whether it's...
And watch Dr. Joe Dispenza.
I'm going to check him out. Is he on Instagram?
Do it. He's on YouTube. I
Well,
linked his YouTube link in the chat because he is someone that I feel like I resonate with. And it really helped me out a lot. And I feel like it can help you guys.
Is that him?
Hey, good. Nice. He's got an Instagram too. But yeah, he's someone that I resonate with because I love how the brain works. And I love the science behind the mystical.
A lot of people
and the mystical behind the science. So I love it all. It's all interconnected.
A lot of people follow him.
Check him out.
So that's cool.
He's awesome. Yeah. So if you haven't heard of him, he's great. And I'm going to be watching more on that program that my mom just got. So I'll be able to kind of like share that with you, whatever I find.
Yeah. I think something that we're going to try to do, and I didn't prepare for it today, is like challenge us to watch something and then talk about it. But so if you have like suggestions on like, we want to stay away from things that make us feel bad. So if you have suggestions on things that make you feel good that you think we'd like to watch, please send it our way. We'd love to do that and like talk about it because it's good. But yes.
When we say we want to stay away from things that make us feel bad, we mean like that take us into a weird feeling. Like there's certain shows that make me feel...
We're going to talk about that tomorrow, actually. We're going to talk about shows that kind of make us feel, ooh, and maybe we shouldn't watch those shows anymore, but like, whatever. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, too. So be sure to check us out. We are on at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific Time, if that helps. I think Pacific Time flows with the daylight savings, because Arizona and Hawaii do not celebrate daylight savings time. So
yeah, it's true.
Get a little weird with the times, but yes. So please hang out with us tomorrow. We'd love to see you. And if not, we'll see you next Wednesday.
All right. See you guys. Love you.
Love you. Bye.